Reporter Dwight K. Schrute here, reporting from our Hunterdon County XYZ headquarters. I'm here with my co-host, Dave Tredan.
Hello there.
Hello. There's an epidemic striking the nation. Ribosomes. Anything that disrupts the function of ribosomes and their ability to make proteins has potentially serious and sometimes fatal consequences. This newscast has been addressed as an emergency awareness notice. Most people will overlook this possibility of becoming susceptible to rare diseases. In today's report, we will explain the structure, function, and one major disease that ribosomes can trigger.
Now, you may be wondering, what are ribosomes?
Well, let me tell you about that, Dan. Ribosomes are organelles in cells that create proteins. Ribosomes are small, roughly spherical, and abundant in cells. They can either freely float around the cytoplasm, or they can be attached to the endoplasmic reticulum. Usually they are found attached to the ER. Free ribosomes usually make proteins that will function in the cytosol, while bound ribosomes usually make proteins that are exported or included in the cell's membrane. Interestingly enough, free ribosomes and bound ribosomes are interchangeable, and the cell can change their numbers according to metabolic needs. They do not have a plasma membrane, so they are completely vulnerable to viruses and diseases. Ribosomes are made of protein, RNA, and rRNA molecules. They can be seen with an electron microscope only because of their small size. This is why new technology is important to the study, research, and prevention of ribosomal diseases.
The sequence of DNA encoding for a protein may be copied many times into mRNA chains. Ribosomes can bind to an mRNA chain and use it as a template for determining the correct sequence of amino acids in a particular protein. Each ribosome is divided into two subunits. The smaller subunit binds to the mRNA pattern, while the larger subunit binds to the tRNA and amino acids.
And now a word from our in-the-field correspondent,
Thank you,
Laurel.
Dwight and Dan. Problems with ribosome functions have been associated with diamond black fan anemia. Diamond black fan anemia, also known as DBA, is a very rare disease. It occurs equally in boys and girls and poses life-threatening potential. DBA is a rare genetic blood disorder where your bone marrow produces fewer red blood cells than needed. Red blood cells are very important to your body's health and well-being because they produce oxygen and transport it around the cell. It has been recently accepted that DBA is a rare ribosomal protein disease. Symptoms that are recognized as the onset of DBA are pale skin, irregular heartbeat, decreased energy rate, short stature, and malformations in the face and hands. Typically, the diagnosis of DBA consists of a red blood cell count and a bone marrow biopsy. Patient treatment is therefore centered on an accurate diagnosis. For example, appropriate use of transfusions and iron creatine, corticosteroids and stem cell transplantation, and an organized approach to treat patients. The prognosis is not a positive outcome. There is a bleak chance of survival because patients usually suffer from periods of heart failure. If they do survive, then they usually have to take steroids regularly. DBA requires ongoing medical care throughout one's life. Now back to you, Dwight.
Thank you for your undivided attention.